Welcome back to Dubsy Bricks and another episode of Building Jabba'S Palace. And this week we're going to be starting off in the Rancor Pit. So we've got all of our slopes now, so there's nothing to stop us getting all of the rock work done around there. Probably won't be doing the finer details like the smoothing off of the edges on that, because that's something I can just sort of like do when I get 5 minutes spare here and there and just sort of like finish it off. And I'm going to be putting some dark brown cheese wedges on there, and I might change out the occasional slope so just to break it up a little bit on the dark blue grey side of it. We want to get the door frame in and get a working mechanism in there as well. So that's going to be the part that we're going to be starting off with, and then once we've done that we'll decide how we're going to go forward from there. So we may very well put the roof on, or we might just start doing the plans of the throne room. But we've got a lot that we can get done this week. As I said, we've destroyed the back cave, so there's no shortage of bricks now, which is really good. And also we've got small bricks from the pick brick wall of the nougat colour, so we can get a little bit more of the room done just down there. So yeah, this should be a good episode with lots done. So let's stop talking and let's get building. And as you can see from that time lapse, we've managed to get that section all finished off. And we're now going to work on the door frame here. So we just need to work out the mechanism that we're going to put in there. And then once we've done that, we can start building the rock around this bit and there. Then get into the other side and then get that done. But yeah, please how it's coming on. And as you can see, it's absolute carnage here in the Lego room at the moment. The bricks are just absolutely everywhere. We've started bagging up, so we've bagged up another couple of bags of the filler brick there. The slopes, they were bagged up and they were in that box, and I just end up pouring them out just so I could get the parts out ready to do the Rancor Pit. But yeah, it's going to be nice once we've got all of this sorted. But the Lego room is just a complete mess at the moment, so really do need to work on getting this tidied up over the next few days. So I'm hoping we're going to make a lot of progress on Jabba'S Palace, which is going to use a lot of the bricks up, and I don't need to sort them. Happy days. Let's get back to it. And we're just going to make a start on doing the doorway here for the Rancor Pit. And I've got to work out how wide it's going to be before I start doing any of the mechanisms. And one thing about doing is having a snot brick which has got the studs on both sides, then attaching a plate either side of it, and then tiling either side of the door so I can get the finer details in. So that's going to mean that the door, in size wise, is going to be 1 brick and 4 plates on their side in depth. So it's going to be quite a thick door, but it is going to enable me to get as much detail as possible in there. And also when it comes down and hits the rank on the head, I think that'd be quite a true sort of like a scale to the door. And it also enabled me, by using the snot bricks, if I build that upside down, I can then put like the teeth bit on the bottom of the door which go into him. So yeah, we're going to start prototyping a door. It won't be the right colour because we don't have the dark brown plates, etc., but at least we can work it out, make sure it's the right size, and then we can start building that door frame around that. And obviously we need to make sure that the door frame also is wide enough to fit the Rancor through. So yeah, let's get this designing and then we'll show you what we come up with. And here we have a prototype for the door. So we've gone for our usual technique here of having a snot brick, then either 2 bricks and a plate, or a snot brick and 4 bricks and then another snot brick. That way it enables you to plate it all off as we've sort of like done here, just to give you an idea. So we're going to plate both sides off, and then what we'll do on the edges and in the centre, if there's any bits that protrude on the door design, we'll put another row of plate. Inside of those raised levels we're going to tile it, and then on top of the raised bits we'll tile it again. So it's going to give it a stepped look just like that all the way around the door. We're going to put the door in upside down, then that way what we can do, we can use these studs on the top to put some cheese wedges, then that will give us the teeth effect on the bottom of the door. So the door will go into the door frame just here. It's 16 studs wide, and then that will just raise up into the throne room. So now we've got that part done, we can now start building the mechanism around it so that we can get that to go up and down as we want it to do so. And here is the door, and it's taken us a little while to get it spot on, but The The problem we were having was I needed to make sure that between snot bricks is either 2 bricks and 1 plate or 4 bricks. That way you can stick the plates on and do your snot technique on here. However, the one thing I failed to do was make sure that these Technic pins were all lined up properly. So I needed to get these on here, which I did, and then I did another one down this end. However, I couldn't join the two together, so I was just a fraction of a plate out. So I finally got it right, and as you can see, I've now joined them using the Technic brick. And the Technic brick, that's where the teeth are going to go onto, so these parts here. So now we've done that, we can get it all put together, put these panels onto the door, ready for it to be tiled once we've got the tiles in, and away we go. So now we've done that, we can now make a start on doing the door frame and getting the mechanism all working. And as you can see, we've made the archway, or started the archway there, and it's coming on quite nicely. We've put some snot bricks in just here so we can carry on doing the similar sort of style as what we've got over the other side. But apart from that, we've actually used the bricks going upwards on there. And when we put the door in, it's going to look quite good, I think, once we've got this all changed over to the brown. But that will just slide into the runners on there, and then it will just slide up and down. So yeah, really pleased with the progress, how it's coming on. Still a little bit of tweaking we need to do here and there, but once we've got this side built up and nice and sturdy, I'll build the mechanism in just here, and then we'll be able to carry on with it. And here we have it, it's all in place now, so we just need to tile the door off. So when you turn the cog on the side here, which we will change for a wheel, the door goes up, and then again, just let it go, and it drops back down. So that's all done. So as I said, just need to get the dark brown tiles in, get that all tiled off, then that's that section done. We can build the roof across here now. We're going to be plating this and then putting one level of tile on. That way we can bring the snot technique roof all the way across. And what we can do now is get round to the Rancor housing part and get that all done as well. So we have started that part of the room. We've done the archway the other side, so I'll just show you that part. So as you can see, we've got the archway all started on this side. Just need to join the two sides up, and we'll carry on with the rock work in here. So that's the part we're going to be cracking on with next. Yeah, very pleased with the progress we're making so far, but let's carry on with that rock work and see if we can get to the stage where we're ready to put the roof on there. And we've completed the back wall of the Rancor housing, and we've also done the side section just here. What we now need to do is build, I'm going to move this wall back by 1 stud. So that will give us an even number of studs inside the Rancor keeper's quarters. And then what we can do is we'll build a snot brick wall all the way across here, and we also need to join onto that. So I'm going to just peel that little bit off there and attach the wall to it, and then we can come right the way across, then that'll be sorted. So yeah, let's just get on with that bit, and we'll check back in once we've made a little bit more progress. And there we have it. We have got the Rancor housing pen all finished with the first part of the rock work. All we need to do is just do little cheese wedges all over that section, same as what we have to do on the actual Rancor pit itself. But yeah, it's coming on really well. Still need a few more tiles to go on the floor. We had to nick a couple just so we could put them on the edges before we sort of like put the slopes down on there. But it has come out really well, so pleased with the end result there. I was going to start building this section up here, so I was going to put the tan wall all the way across there, put the roofs on, put the lights in, ready to go. And however, I realised I haven't tiled obviously that floor area in there, and it's going to be a lot easier to tile from above rather than try and squeeze my hand through that small gap. So we're going to have to hold fire on that. So I think the thing we're going to work on next is just doing the first part of the roof section on here, get that all put across, work out how big we want the viewing pen to be on the top of that. And as I said, that's going to be 2 bricks thick, lead on its side, and then connected at the very back there by a snot brick. And then what we'll do on top of that, we'll put on the top layer of the bricks, of the 2 bricks, we'll have some snot bricks, and then we'll be able to plate on top of it as well, so we can then get finer detail. So it's going to be quite a thick floor, which is probably going to end up being 2 bricks and 1 plate and 1 tile in total. But yeah, we get to that, because once we've done that, we can then start planning out the actual palace floor layout as well. And of course, once we've done that, we can then start working on the rock work, how we're going to go with that on the back side of it. So this is quite a big step. The next one's just going to sort of like start panning out how much room we've got for each section, or how much room we're going to spend on each section, should I say. But anyway, let's make a start on that roof. And there we have it, the roofs are now on both the housing pen and also the Rancor Pit itself. So as you can see, it's all nice and smooth in there. I was contemplating doing some slopes, but I thought you're not really going to see it, and it's a lot easier to do it this way. This room is a lot darker, but as you can see, there is a hole in the roof there, and there will be a light, which I've already put in there, ready to go. So I just need to connect that up, and then that will be good. So we can now plate off over the top of this area here. Obviously, you need to leave a gap so the door can come up through that, and there'll be a wall in the throne room for it to go behind. But yeah, it's all coming on quite nicely. This is the level that we're working to, obviously, so we can do the same back here, and we can now start working on the trapdoor and getting that all connected to this mechanism here. So once we've done that, we can work out what rooms are going to go where within the throne room. But yeah, a lot of progress has been made here. It's really satisfying to see this part done, and now it's time to work on that trapdoor. One other thing we are going to have to do, and obviously this is the main section to the throne room, but this bit here is where like Han Solo's kept in carbonite, so we do need to be building up over that, and again we can't do anything until we've got that archway in there. So we have got a few problems on this side of it, but unless we can just make it so it comes to there, we don't know. But all we do, we carry on doing what we can and see where we get to. But anyway, let's get back to building. And here we are back with the trapdoor, and we've had to rip off the whole mechanism here, and we're playing with the cogs. And the problem we were having was when I went to put that down, it wasn't going at the right angle. It was turning a little bit too much, so the trapdoor would knock off before the cage door dropped at the bottom. So I just need to experiment a little bit and see if we can get it amended, just so we can get it all working properly. And yes, we have a lot of destruction here in the Rancor Pit yet again. And the problem is with this section here, these clips just keep on coming off. So I'm going to need to try and find a new solution for the runners. The roof section just pops off, so that's fine. And these bits here, they just clip back on. So it's just a case of sort of like modifying this section here. And it really is 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Look at the destruction we've got here. And all because it kept popping off in there when I was doing something with the cogs. I thought I've got to change it, because if I get the throne room all built up on here and that pops off, I'm going to have so much work to get it working again. It would either be a non-working feature, or I'd have to take everything off on top of it. So I had to make sure that it is perfect this time round. So yeah, it's several hours work down the drain, and several hours we're going to spend now putting this back together. So whereas after I put the roof on and we started doing the cogs out, we're going to get a lot more done on here. This is a massive step backwards, but we'll get there. So anyway, let's get back to the reconstruction side of it. Think of a new way of making that gate go up and down, or a new way of attaching the gate, and we'll check back in once we've made a little bit of progress on there. And here is the new gate, which will be going inside the Rancor Pit entrance there. So as you can see, we've used a couple of the black Technic pins, a couple of clips, and then the bar in between it. And the Technic beams there, they will be sliding up and down the runners just there. Exactly the same principles we've got on the Rancor Pit there, and we did on the lift on Wayne Manor. So yeah, what we need to do, feed that back in, build all of this back up around it, then rebuild all of this behind here, put the Rancor Pit back together, and then we should be back to where we were before. So hopefully that will all go back together quite smoothly. Then all we need to do is get the cogs connected to this. Obviously that's all connected still there, so it shouldn't take too long to do. So yeah, let's get back to it and see if we can get it all done this episode. And that's the back all built back up, all the supporting structure. Still a little bit of the brickwork to do around the entrance to the Rancor Pit, or the trapdoor should I say. And then once we've done that, we can then get back to doing the rock work inside, which at the moment is obviously destroyed, as you can see. And it won't take too long to put it all back together. The majority of it has come off on the plates, which is a good thing, so we can just pop those all back on. But yeah, it's come together, going back together quite smoothly, which is nice. So fingers crossed we get it all done. And that's the Rancor Pit put all back together, so that's all good. All we need to do now is just build that back up, just where the minifigure's going to drop through into the Rancor Pit, connect the cogs back up, and then we can stick the roof section back on, which is still in one piece. So fingers crossed we are almost at the end of getting this finally sorted. A lot more work created than we anticipated, but one of those things. And we finally got everything back together. All the cogs are in place.
Still got to do some amendments to the cogs over here because it's still not working out quite right timing wise, and basically the door is shutting down there just a fraction too early, so you're going to need to review that. But the principle is it is all working, so that's the main thing. And whether or not we're going to have this on 2 separate mechanisms, I'm not sure. The other thing I'll do is adjust the height of the actual trapdoor there. Needs to go up by a couple of plates, but again, that's easily rectified. But yeah, really pleased with the progress this week. It was really frustrating having to rip a lot of this out just to redo again because of one change in the little grate bit that's at the back there. But yeah, got there eventually. So at least we know that's all solid now inside of there. It's just a case of getting the trapdoor timings worked out correctly. But anyway, that's all we've got time for. Hope you've enjoyed this update. If you have, please give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit that notification bell to keep me up to date with any future content on the channel. And please share it with your family and friends. Anyway, thanks for popping on by. See you next time. Bye for now.